As you can see, we're financial brokers. Let me talk about what we do. So basically, Matthew, I do two things. I teach people how to make money and how to save money. Now, most people are interested in both. What would you like to learn about?
Yes.
Both. So Matthew, the first thing is I help families educate them on what we call the 5 pillars of financial stability. So the area of concern number 1 is called debt. Now, living in Canada, would you say most people that live in Canada today are in debt or out of debt?
In debt.
Now, would you say the debt is in control or out of control?
Out of control.
So Matthew, if you have to define out of control debt, how would you define it?
Multiple credit cards, high interest rates, a lot of payments.
And you're absolutely right. Just to add to that, how I define out of control debt is that debt that does not have a definite date to pay off. So for example, if you go to a car dealership and you get a 4 or 5 year loan, let's say a 5-year loan, you know that after making payments for 5 years, the loan is paid off. But when you have $50, $60, $70,000 on credit cards, and you have 5, 6, 7 different credit cards averaging 18, 19, 20%, and you're making a minimum payment, when will that debt be paid off?
Never.
Probably never. So one of the first things that we do to help families is we help them settle on their uncontrolled debt. And we deal with companies that help our clients and get 3 benefits. So the first benefit that the client could get is that we could probably reduce the balance on their debt. So for example, somebody got $50,000 debt, the company negotiates on their behalf and maybe helps the client shave off about 50% of the debt. So now down to 20, 25,000. The second benefit is we could possibly reduce the interest rate. So somebody's paying about 18, 19, 20%. Now we can reduce the payment down to or interest down to 5 or 6%, at some cases even 0%. And the third benefit is we could reduce the payment. So let's say you're paying about $1,000 a month. Now the payment is about $300. That frees up $700 for us to do something else with it. So basically, these are the 3 benefits. So because living in debt is not that great, would you agree?
Right.
So I'm not sure if you have any debt on your plate or not, but I want you to just keep this in mind how we help families, and we'll talk about it. Sounds good?
Mm-hmm.
So the second area of concern is called life insurance. So Matthew, life insurance is a topic that a lot of people are always confused about. Okay. Now, what I do is I teach people how to buy life insurance. So when was the last time anyone in your life taught you how to buy life insurance?
Nobody.
So friends don't teach us, parents don't teach us. What about the HR lady at work? Did she ever sit down with you or ever taught you how to buy life insurance?
No.
Okay, so basically at the end of the day, nobody teaches us about this. So let me kind of help you understand this. How old are you, Matthew?
30.
30, perfect. And what kind of income are you earning, Matthew?
80,000.
80,000, that's really good. Now, Matthew, how much life insurance do you have?
Just 1 year through work.
1 year through work. Do you have anything else?
No.
So you have about $80,000 worth of life insurance?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, Matthew, very simple. You're 30 years old. So let me help you understand this concept. So usually retirement age is about 60 or 65. So let's say 60. So that's 30 years, correct?
Yeah.
So if you multiply 30 years with 80,000, that gives us $2.4 million. Now what that means is this, Matthew. If you live for 30 years and you never get a raise and you make $80,000 a year income, you will be bringing home $2.4 million to your family. Mm-hmm. So economically speaking, you're worth $2.4 million. But if you pass away tomorrow, your family only gets $80,000. And worse, if you get laid off, you don't even have this. So I'm not sure how you feel about this, but I want you to just keep this in mind. Sounds good?
Yeah.
The next area of concern that I help families educate on is retirement. So Matthew, do you have any RSPs?
Yes.
Okay, how much?
5,000.
5,000, perfect. Do you put anything monthly into it?
200.
$200 a month, okay. And what about tax-free savings account? Do you have TFSA account?
Yes.
How much do you have in there?
5,000.
5,000, and what do you put monthly into it?
100.
Perfect. So quick question, Matthew. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well would you say your understanding is in regards to these 2 plans?
4.
4. So do you usually put $10,000 into places where you have a level 4 financial education?
No.
So I want you to just keep that in mind, okay? The next area of concern is called kids education. Now, Matthew, do you have kids?
Yes.
Okay. How many?
2.
2. Perfect. Now, Matthew, is it your intent that your kids go get a higher education?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you got going for the kids right now?
10,000 each.
10,000 each. So RESP plan or?
RESP.
Okay. So 10,000 each. And do you put basically monthly into it?
Yes.
How much?
$100 each.
Perfect. So once again, another question on a scale of 1 to 10. How well do you understand this?
0.
Okay. I want you to keep that in mind, Matthew. Okay. The next area of concern is called health. Okay. Now, in case there's a major health issue which prevents you from going to work for maybe 6, 12 months, 18 months, like you have no option but to recover, like a heart attack, cancer, stroke, do you have any critical illness plan in place?
No.
Nothing. Okay. Okay, Matthew. We're pretty much done here. So let's review your current financial report card. So on the debt side, you said you don't have anything, right? Okay. And on the life insurance side, as you can see, there's a big discrepancy on what is required. On the RSP side, you have a level 4 education and you got 10,000 in there. And on the kids education side, you said 0. And in case there's a major health issue, you have nothing over here set up. So all it takes is one health issue and everything goes poof in the air. Now, as a 30-year-old father of 2 who's making about $80,000 a year income, how do you feel about your current financial situation?
Not good.
Okay. Now, if I could show you how to improve this, would you be open to looking at some ideas?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
perfect. What I'd like to do is gather some information, and we're going to book another time for us to come back, and I'll bring some ideas back with me. And if you like those ideas, Matthews, we'll talk about it, how to implementing it. And in case you think it doesn't bring any value to your situation, then you just continue the way things are. Sounds fair?
Sounds fair.
Perfect.